Today, our subject matter is adults returning to school. And we have various points that we're going to discuss today as it relates to adults returning to school. And I'm just going to first start off by saying, or asking amongst us, are we, have any of you experienced the phenomenon, I'm going to call it, of returning to school as an adult? And just give us some of your experience, of your circumstances to have to return to school as an adult.
Well, I returned to school as an adult, and of course, I could not stop working at the time. So a program was offered to the staff at my job, and we got to go to a school, Seton Hall, for like 50% off. So we all took that challenge and decided to go. And it was the first time that I actually had an opportunity to go because they had these courses on Saturdays. So
Oh,
it
great.
enabled us to go because we, of course, like I said, couldn't stop working. So we went for like 3 years on Saturdays. We made it one or two classes per session. And we was the first class to graduate with this program. So it worked out fairly well for us. And it's different while you're working and going to school. So you have to develop very good study habits and discipline yourself. But basically, we were adults, so we did have discipline. But it's like making time for your family life, studying, reading, and we were traveling from wherever we were. It was centralized in Central Jersey. I lived in South Jersey. Some people might have lived in North Jersey. All around. So we had to drive to go to school, then attend the class, then drive back home, then do your homework and whatever else your life entailed.
Wow. That sounds like that was an adventure. Anyone else?
Yes, I remember I did an accelerated course, took 18 months, and I was still teaching at the time, and that meant I had to do, all of my teaching, have all of my teaching responsibilities, uh, doing everything in acceleration. I mean, that's just a lot in itself. Plus, the homework, the articles, the report cards I had to do with the children. So that was kind of like an experience. But you get it done. You get it done. It's you turn. What do? You kind of, what am I trying to say? You turn things around, or you kind of make time. You have to make time and change things around for yourself to make time for what you have to do, and you get it done. But it was an accelerated program. It was an experience, and I enjoyed it.
Very good. Elaine, I know you returned back to school as an adult.
Yeah.
Kind of give us a little insight of how it became about for you.
Yes, I was working as a unit secretary at the hospital back then, and I decided I wanted to have something else I could do. So I started searching for things, and cosmetology came up in my spirit. So I went to cosmetology school while I was working at the hospital. And my plan was to do both once I got my license. But once I got into the salon, it was so relaxed. And the schedule, the hours were so flexible. I just chose to go full time. And now I'm a sole proprietor, of my own salon. And I had a husband and a 1-year-old. So I almost gave up a couple times, but I had to keep pressing. So thank God I made it. But it was hard, but you have to press,
Yeah, well, you know what? We can just hear from your responses. There's various reasons. I myself returned back to school as an adult, as it related to my career. As with Katrina, it was a part of career advancement. And the thing about it is, once these opportunities are available to you, you have to know when you're within yourself that this is the right time. This is the season. This is where opportunity comes, and this is where the door is open for me to return as an adult. And I found the greatest challenge was facing my fears. Facing my fears. There was a lot of fears that I had, One was I felt like I was going to be the oldest student there. And then I thought, will I be able to keep up? Technology changes and kids that are fresh out of high school, you know, could I keep in sync and keep up with those kids? So those are some of the challenges that I initially faced. But what are some of the greatest challenges you all face as it relates to your time and your commitment
Mhm.
to?
Well, it was kind of hard, like studying, like getting back into studying. I had been out of school. That was for a master's program. So I had been out of school for a while from
Mhm.
undergrad. So I went for a master's program. You kind of got to get back into the reading, study using the computer, using the library at the school. I've been out of the loop for that because for undergrad, I was physically at the school.
Right.
Then it's kind of like a little hybrid.
Mhm.
And like I said, the traveling was something you had to take into consideration because you had to stay awake. And it was it might have been like a 45 minute to an hour drive. But it was really such a big commitment. And then you did have to, you know, find your time to study, to read. It was challenging, but since it was a pilot program and we were very excited about it with the possibility of, you know, advancement in your career, it was good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yes, I took a online class once for a substance abuse course, but that one was a little more uh, relaxed for me because I was alone. I didn't have all the extra, you know, with the children and going to basketball practice and all. I was just able to get online and do my studies. So that was a lot better and a lot easier. So when you have the time, it's just you can focus. So that one, I really enjoyed that course. Yeah.
Very
I,
good.
I piggyback off of what Katrina said, because it's, you know, you do have to rearrange your schedule. It's the homework, I found myself with a tablet, the laptop, everything, you know, and then books. So yeah, it's a challenge, but you get it done.
Yeah.
Since
Well,
the time,
I'd like to ask you, am I the only one that had books in their beds?
No.
oh,
I would roll over and there would be books between my husband and I in the bed and just taking every opportunity that I had to study, you know, and sometimes I would just fall asleep with my laptop barely in my hands and books all over the place. But I must ask you all, was it worth the effort?
Yes, it
Yes.
yes.
I truly enjoyed the teachers that we met because, you know, they knew they were teaching adults. And I enjoyed the people that came from all around New Jersey and that I met. The camaraderie was just beautiful.
Mhm.
All enjoyed the program, the learning, and everything. So it was a good experience. And everyone came to graduation when we graduated because, you know, sometimes you think maybe people not going to come because, you know, you're grown, just give me my certificate and go on. No, everybody was very excited to the end.
Mhm.
Graduation was a big event.
Yes.
Very good. Yeah, we all look forward to that. It's just as exciting as it was when you did your undergraduate. You know, you find yourself getting, you know, those little nervous, that little nervous excitement. And then when you look up and you see your family and your friends there, man, you look back and you say, wow, it was worth it.
It
The
was.
sleepless nights and all those things, the studying and the you know, trying to get the papers done. In the end, it's just all worth it.
Mhm.
One of the things that I found that was challenging to me was trying to choose the correct school,
Mhm.
trying to choose the correct course of study that I wanted to do. Did anybody else face those challenges as well?
No.
Well,
No.
at the time, they offered us a program. It was like an educational program. So it was a program like that, educational specialist or whatever. So you could use it. It was human services training and development. That's what it was. Just working with human capital, working with people. So it was pretty versatile major that they offered. That was the program that they offered. And anyone that thought that they could benefit from that would use it, since we worked for the state and we was in working with the public. So it was that was the one that was offered to us.
Very good.
Yeah, the hardest challenge I found was trying to find out what to go to school for, because I was changing. I was going from one field to another field. So my thing was trying to, what do I want to do? What class do I want to take? So once I decided, the transition was easy. And one thing I wanted to add, that going from career to career and the transition and going in and you just experience these new changes. Transition and change is beautiful. Just to go from one thing, you learn this new thing, and then you transition into something totally different. Oh, it's a great sense of accomplishment. It's just a great feeling. So I would encourage anybody to, whatever you decide you want to do, go for it, because change is good. So everything I went through was worth it. It was worth it.
And age is just a number, because, you know, a lot of people,
Right.
oh, you know, well, I'm just too old, but you're never too old to learn. It's a lifelong learning experience. So it's great to do that at any age. Really.
I agree. You can't put a limit on the knowledge that you can attain based on your age. You know, I've seen so many examples where there have been people of advanced age, not only receiving first-time college degree, whether it's associates or bachelors. You've had people of advanced age who never completed high school that have gone back to receive their actual high school diploma. And we can't let age and even these days, the other things that would have normally have caused you to determine perhaps maybe going back as an adult may not be a great idea. But we're so fortunate today that we have online classes, and we also have courses of study that have been expanded, you know, to whereas you may have had just say, okay, you're going to study business administration. Now there's just so many areas within business administration where now they've called them new degrees. So you may receive one, business administration, specializing in technology. So the field is open, you know, and it's whatever your heart's desire is. But here's a question I have for you ladies, those of you who have gone back for career advancement. When you started your initial courses of study, did you, and I know this pertains to Elena, did you find out that what you initially was interested in, that you initially wanted to study, was it as relevant today as it was when you decided to initially go to school?
Yes. Because women want to look beautiful. They're gonna forever get their hair done. So it's still popular. It's not going out of style. Robots cannot take my job. So yes, pretty definitely. Yeah.
So glad.
And for me, that major human resources, training and development, like I said, that's with human capital. So you're working with people, you're learning, you're training. That's definitely still relevant today.
That's right.
Employees have to be trained, and they have to learn how to work and deal with not only the public, but all people that they work with.
Yeah.
So that was very relevant.
Very good. Well, you know, our learning continues, and we did that in one of our first shows, where we talked about how, you know, learning is consistent and learning is continual. And I want to remind our viewing audience that, you know, we have a variety of subjects that are coming up, but on our next actual broadcast of next Thursday, we're going to do a recap of all things pertaining to school, whether it is your child, your grandchild returning to school, the support staff, uh, the valuable part that they play in education and just our education system returning back to school. And even we're going to just recap safety measures that you should consider when returning to school, or even your children are returning to school. So I'm going to encourage you to tune in next week where we will do just a recap of that. But I want to invite you to our Facebook page. We have a wonderful Facebook page where you'll find daily encouragement from not only us, but more women and men who are part of our group and our circle. And our main purpose is to spread joy and live a joyous life. And we have beautiful people that contribute daily with all sorts of posts. And we want you to be a part of that community. So please, if you would, go to our Facebook account, Joys of Living Great, where you will see all of us and even our main host, Faye Horton. You will see her and her postings on that Facebook. But we want to hear from you. We really want to hear from you. And one of the things we encourage you to do is register for our Facebook, register for Win Win Women. If you're on here today, you've already registered for Win Win Women by putting in your email address and your contact name, and we'll be sending out reminders of when our broadcasts are. But more than anything, we want you to be a part of our community here at the Joys of Living Great so that we can share and help one another. Right, ladies?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, great. Now let's get back to our topic for today. I found when I returned back to school, one of the things I needed to do was brush up on my computer skills. When I first began college, and I won't say how many years ago, but it was years ago, the basic language for business was Fortran and COBOL. Now today we have all sorts of applications and programs that we need in order to even do our course of study. So how was it to have to brush up on your computer skills?
Well, it was hard trying to do that because, like I said, I've been out for a while since undergrad, and maybe 10 years past. And they have all these ways you have to access the library, how you have to make comments to posts that your classmates make in a certain way. They had the system called Blackboard, and you had to use it and get used to it and respond to the teacher and read the syllabus. And I was used to having something to hold on to.
Right.
And that was a big deal. I didn't have anything in my hand. I couldn't print everything because they had it on the on the computer. So that was something to get used to. And then you had to learn how to use the new skills. Like they made you upload your paper so something could check your paper, making sure nothing was plagiarized. They had all these little systems and stuff that you had to use, and you had to learn to use them.
Yeah.
And uploading, and commenting, and make sure you put the comments in the right place. It was just a lot.
Oh yeah, I remember those challenges. Anyone else?
I could say that fortunately enough, I had my students, and students are the best resources. I had my students that helped me. Yeah, I taught them, they helped me.
Yeah.
Any kind of technical issues that I had, they helped me. They knew right away. So I was okay with that.
Well, that's what you call really using the resources around you.
Yeah.
If you're fortunate to have a grandchild or even a younger child, boy, these kids, they are up on everything.
They are.
I watch the little toddlers
Yeah.
pick up a tablet and go directly to whatever application they need and
Yeah.
they come up with their favorite cartoon or something like that. And it's amazing. So yeah, that's one of the things, is use your resource. They're usually sitting right there in your living room or just a phone call away to your grandchildren.
Mhm.
Elena, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just agreeing with you all.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now with me, one of the reasons why I thought I needed to go back to school was self-actualization. You know, it was something that I felt like I wanted to achieve in my life. And a lot of times we don't fulfill the things that we really desire to do for a lot of different reasons. And I'm finding that a lot of people don't return to school, and their main reason for not returning to school are finances. Finances play a large role because, let's face it, everyone, it is very expensive to return to school.
Yes, it is.
Whether it's books, whether it's the actual tuition, lab fees, or whatever it is, it's very, very, very expensive. So, can anyone give me any ideas as to how you face that challenge of finances?
Well, for me, they did initially offer us a discount, a 50% discount, but it was an expensive school, but it was still a bill to incur. But they offer you to you know, file for financial aid, but you know you're gonna have to pay some of it back. Since it was in New Jersey, some things didn't have to pay back if you qualify for, but you could apply for scholarships and, you know, do the essays and stuff like that. On and some people did like a little payment plan,
Mhm.
pay some of it, maybe half financed, half they paid. But it all worked out, but it was worth it.
Great, great. Well, I know that there are also things out there, grants, and we just talked about financial aid. There are scholarships. Um, can anyone kind of tell me, or let our audience know the difference between a grant as versus a scholarship? And where does one really go to kind of find these things out?
Well, sometimes the school offers the websites for the scholarships. Sometimes you could get a scholarship before you go to school if you in a certain type of a field, or like say if you played a sport, they may give you a scholarship if you're academically good with your grades, some scholarship, and those don't have to be paid back. You use them for your schooling. And the other one was the a grant is the ones I think that you had to apply for and maybe write the essays for. That might have been that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm finding that grants are usually given based on the financial need, and they come with the application process. And you know, those grants usually don't have to be paid back, but you know, there are usually a few things that go along with that.
Yeah.
And we know scholarships are based on achievements or affiliations. And there are all sorts of, listen, do not allow the lack of finances to stop you. There are all sorts of scholarships that are available out there. Perhaps you're still the first one in your family to attend college. There are grants for that. You could be, I'm sorry, scholarships for that. You could be a part of an affiliation. Me, I'm law enforcement, it's my background. So the Police Benevolence Association, anything pertaining to criminal justice, there are scholarships out there for you. And you just got to apply. And the key to it is, in any application, whether it be a grant or a scholarship, you must give them everything they ask for. Don't give them an incomplete application, and don't have them come back. Try to fill out as much information as you have available to you. Do your research, find out what they're looking for. You have sororities, you have fraternities that offer scholarships. Um, Again, on your jobs, they give you grants, 50% reimbursement
Yeah.
of your tuition and things like that. So there's all sorts of things out there available to assist you in financing your education, whether you're going back or whether you're a first time attending as an adult. There are things out there available from your state, at the federal level. You have to do the research. And if you apply yourself and do the research, I tell you, it's available to you. Veterans have so many grants and scholarship programs available for them. So if you spend any time in the military, you can almost go and complete your education for free. So we want to take advantage of the grants from charitable organizations, from nonprofits. My church, we've always had a scholarship for those attending to college, you know, whether they're high school or wherever, but if you're going and if you meet the criteria, you can apply for it and you can receive it. So just take an advantage of, oh, and also I was told that there are organizations that also give you like life insurance companies. I hear Amazon, I hear different foundations. They have scholarships available out there for you. So don't let financing be a reason why you do not achieve your goals of going back to school. Anyone else have anything to add to my monologue? I just did.
I did know one thing you just brought to mind, something that you said. I knew that when we were taking classes, when I went to school later on, if you took more than one course, the price would go down per course.
Hmm.
Like if you took 2, it was discounted down lower. And then if you took 3, it was discounted down lower a semester. So as an adult, that was beneficial because you know that you could either get to your goal faster and for less money if you could take more on at that time.
Oh, very good. That's another possibility. Thank you, Katrina. I wasn't even thinking along that line. But yeah, dude, the whole point is, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to attain it, there are ways of achieving it. And it may take you one course per semester because of your time and your level of commitment.
Yes.
But take that one course, start off with that one course, and maybe the next term, take 2 courses. Katrina said she had to sacrifice a Saturday for 3 years. But I mean, at the end of that, the achievement, the rewards for it, you know, the financial rewards for it, you know, then the self-actualization rewards of it, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. And I also believe that if you have children, grandchildren, uh, even peers within your family, your coworkers, that's one of the greatest examples that you can give them of the importance of education by you going back yourself. And know that you can be the catalyst in beginning your entire family of going back to school and getting either a certificate, some sort of accreditation. And then you begin to create generational wealth within your family and amongst your friends in your community because you have knowledge, and knowledge turns into power, and power eventually equates itself into financial gain.